she was so brazen about it, and she was even smiling on camera at one stage and chatting away. It's just like, how can you do that? I don't know.
A Lexington store owner hopes surveillance cameras will help police catch someone she says stole thousands of dollars worth of merchandise.
As investigators try to identify the attackers who killed dozens at an airport in Istanbul, they say they have a better idea which group is responsible.
How the community is helping the family of a Lexington murder victim.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. It was a great day, even better night to be outside. Sunshine and comfortable temperatures combined for some wonderful weather.
And here's the good part. It looks like tomorrow will be just as nice. So we'll begin tonight with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Guys, at the same point last night, we promised a temperature change map that had a lot of blue on it. Mother Nature delivering the goods. Temperatures right now ranging anywhere from 4 to as much as 10 degrees colder than at this same point last night. Current readings are into the low and mid 60s into most of central and eastern Kentucky, coming on the heels of an afternoon that had many thermometers into the mid and upper 70s for a high temperature as we get set to close out the month of June. We'll take it. Hour by hour forecast. Let's look ahead to tomorrow morning. 50s across most areas. Lunchtime temperature right around 75 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon is a little warmer than what we had today. Still, though, the numbers that you see here, upper 70s, low 80s, way below where we should be for this time of year. Out and about tomorrow evening, temperatures again drop into the 60s, guys. This nice weather gets me all choked up. But as we look ahead on your Defender Radar Network, nothing going on across central and eastern Kentucky. Heading toward the 4th of July weekend, fireworks of a different kind show up at 11:13. Hopefully my voice will still show up there too.
Thank you, Chris. She appeared to be a normal customer at first, asking questions about jewelry for sale. But the owner of a store in downtown Lexington says this woman was actually a thief.
And the owner says this surveillance video shows her stealing thousands of dollars worth of rings. Monique Blair is tracking the investigation tonight. It's our top story at 11.
Somebody knows her. Somebody definitely knows her.
This is the person Falcha Irish import store owner Lisa Betts is asking you to identify. Around 5 o'clock Tuesday night, Betts says this woman walked into her downtown Lexington store.
And she seemed like a really nice person, and that's why she was left alone at the case, and she was like asking a bunch of questions. So it wasn't like she had, "I'm going to steal all your gold rings," written all over her face. So, but she did.
Betts says the thief spent about 30 minutes in the store laughing with the clerk and asking her about different merchandise, but she left without buying anything. Instead, Betts says the woman had about $2,000 worth of gold rings stuffed down her shirt.
It's awful. I mean, who would do that? Like, every day is hard enough as it is.
Now, Betts says the thief was pretty bold because right when you walk into the store, there's a camera looking directly at you. And to that, there's a second one up here on the wall, a third one directly over the jewelry case. And on top of all of it, you're told you're on camera.
So all little robbers out there, don't come a knocking. We have video cameras. We're going to catch you, and we're going to go to the news and social media. So please just stay away.
Not long after we finished our interview with Betts, she called to tell us the woman actually returned to the store Wednesday evening. At that time, the same clerk was working, and to avoid any trouble, she secretly called police. By the time police got to the store, the woman had already taken off. If you know who this woman is, you are asked to call the Lexington Police Department. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Once that woman left the store, we're told she walked towards Limestone and then got into a white Ford van that someone else was driving.
The death toll in that terrorist attack at an airport in Istanbul, Turkey, rose to 42 people today. More than 200 were injured. Tonight, investigators are still trying to figure out who's responsible for the attack, but as Jonathan Vigliotta tells us, they say that signs point to the Islamic State.
A Turkish media outlet says this image shows one of 3 suicide attackers at the airport in Istanbul Tuesday. Turkish investigators say the men arrived together in a taxi and split up. The first man entered the terminal, opened fire, and then blew himself up.
And then the people started running immediately, and you just ran. You just ran with it.
A second attacker took advantage of that chaos to get upstairs and blow himself up. The third man waited outside and ambushed people trying to escape.
There's really no place to go. There's no place to hide. It's a frightening feeling. It's a feeling of terror.
A U.S. intelligence source says Turkish investigators have tracked down the taxi driver who dropped off the attackers here at the airport. The driver said he did not recognize the language they were speaking. Turkey blames ISIS, and U.S. intelligence says the evidence points in that direction.
We know this is part of our broader shared fight against terrorist networks, and we will continue to work closely with Turkey to root them out.
There is an extra layer of security outside the airport building. Operations are back up and running, and crews are repairing the damage from the blasts. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Istanbul, Turkey.
Investigators say that DNA tests on the attackers are underway. They say it's possible they were jihadists originally from southwest Russia.
People in the community are still doing what they can to help the family of a Lexington murder victim. Police say 36-year-old Robert Warner was shot over the weekend outside an apartment complex off Eastland Parkway. Police have not made any arrests for his murder. Tonight, a fundraiser was held in honor of Warner's family. Victor Puente has the story new at 11.
The crowd gathered at the Swahili Elks Lodge Wednesday evening for sharing memories of a man they loved.
Everybody is still numb, shocked, sad, because you would never ever thought that this would happen, not to a person like him.
And he was the type of person that, if you seen you down or if you seen you unhappy, he was always the one that wants to cheer you up.
Robert Warner was shot and killed Saturday. Since then, multiple businesses have held fundraisers to help his family pay for his funeral.
We're just trying to help the family out as much as possible for a well-deserving man.
And that support hasn't gone unnoticed. Warner's daughter says they've been lifted by the generosity.
I really like seeing how everybody cares about my dad because it makes me feel like really good inside to know that he's been loved more than our family.
Warner's friends say they hope to continue to help his family. They also hope someone can come forward to give police information that would lead them to the person who killed him.
Please come forward, let us know, so we can get this case, past us and get some closure on it.
Closure they can't get while his killer is still free. In Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
This was at least the third fundraiser for Warner's family. Members of the motorcycle club he belonged to also gathered donations tonight off of Georgetown Street. New tonight, Lexington police are looking for a man they say tried to rob a restaurant. It happened late this afternoon at Chuck E. Cheese in the Woodhill Circle Plaza off New Circle Road. Police say the man first showed up asking for a job application and then left. Police say he returned a few hours later, started talking to a manager about a job, but then said he had a weapon and was there to rob the restaurant. Police say the manager told him they didn't have access to the safe, so he left without getting anything. They say he apologized as he left. Also new tonight, Lexington police are investigating a robbery at a store. It happened just about an hour ago at the Dollar General on Bryan Station Road. They say a man walked in, implied he had a gun, and demanded money. Police say he left after getting what he wanted. No one was injured. Police say they're looking for a white man about 6 feet tall with a thin build. They say he was wearing a black baseball cap, khaki pants, a striped shirt, and sunglasses. New tonight, authorities say a grizzly bear has killed a mountain biker near a national park in Montana. They say the 38-year-old man was killed this afternoon about a mile from a campground just outside Glacier National Park. Authorities say the victim was riding with someone else when they surprised the bear, which knocked the victim off his bike. They also say they're still looking for that bear. They say there have only been 10 bear-related deaths in that area since 1910.
Tonight, many people here in central Kentucky are remembering the founder of Southland Christian Church. Reverend Wayne Smith died earlier this week. He was 87. Reverend Smith started Southland Christian Church back in 1956 and it's since become the largest church in central Kentucky with multiple campuses throughout the area. Reverend Smith retired from the church in 1995, but those who knew him say he kept preaching.
He was a pastor that could teach and a pastor that could preach, but he was a pastor. He would go to the hospital. Now look, this is a large church. I don't know that he could get to everybody, but he tried.
Reverend Smith will be remembered during services this Sunday at Southland Christian Church. His visitation and funeral will be there next week. Days and times are still being finalized.
A Jackson County woman has been arrested after police say she tried to kill her husband. In 9 minutes, what friends are saying about the couple.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Absolutely gorgeous weather day that is coming to an end across the Bluegrass State. You know what, June, you got one day left, and you're going to give us a winter of a weather day before we usher in the month of July and some thunderstorms. So let's soak it up, folks. Look outside right now at the numbers, low and mid-60s into most areas. 64 Richmond, hello Mount Sterling. Danville at 63 degrees as well. Low and mid-60s, 61 by the way here at the station out on Winchester Road. So we are a little cooler than a lot of folks. Tomorrow morning, everybody is cool with mid-50s by tomorrow afternoon. Upper 70s, low humidity, and low 80s. That will show up with some sunshine. So again, tomorrow, similar to today, Defender Radar Network, we're going to put you to use this weekend. Short term, not so much. We will see at least a chance for a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. Then late Saturday, look at the rain chances going up into the likely category starting Sunday into Monday and likely into Tuesday as well. Brand new hour-by-hour forecast, and it has a little change in it from what we were showing you earlier for the day on Saturday. Let's get there. 50s in the morning, 75 at noontime. Tomorrow afternoon, no change from earlier. Upper 70s, low 80s, plenty of sunshine. Friday, still talking about a scattered shower or thunderstorm that will come into play as the day wears on with a cold front on top of us. And this model says that even by 11 o'clock Friday evening, there's a threat for a shower or a storm around. So unlike the earlier computer model I was showing you at 6 o'clock tonight that just takes that front and pushes it down into Tennessee, this model says I'm going to kind of hang it up a little farther to the north with a complex of late-day showers and thunderstorms possible on Saturday. Saturday, upper 70s, low 80s. All of that depends on when that cluster of showers and storms gets in here. This is the same map I made for you on Monday with just a little bit of alterations from then. We're still going to deal this weekend and early next week with a pattern that will have a front stalled out across the region. Exactly where that front stalls out means a big difference in how much rain you can get. Some strong thunderstorms and very heavy rains from Missouri through the Ohio Valley to the Appalachian Mountains. It's a pattern that we've talked about for a while. One computer run, GFS model. This is the American model, if you will. Notice how it is still highlighting over the next week, most of this late weekend, early next week, 2, 3, 4 inches. See that yellow, by the way, in the southern parts of Indiana? That's better than 6, 7 inches of rain. Now, again, it will shift around from run to run. But let's compare that to a different model from overseas, the European model. But notice how similar both of those medium-range computer models are in showing this big corridor of heavy rains going from west to east across the Bluegrass State and most of the Ohio Valley into the mountains of even West Virginia, areas that do not need another drop of rain. So for a few days, you've heard me sound the horn now for the possibility of heavy rain starting later this weekend into early next week. And the closer we get to the weekend, guys, I see no reason to change my line of thought on that. Still plenty of time to update it. I know it's your 4th of July weekend, but at the same time, we could be talking about some decent rounds of thunderstorms.
We have had that on some 4th of July. We have a history of some of that.
Absolutely, we have. A few years ago, we had a severe weather outbreak on the 4th. This go around, I would expect some heavy rain.
Okay. Thank you, Chris.
You bet.
A Florida animal shelter has thousands of dollars worth of water damage to clean up, and workers are blaming a kitty caper. That's in 8 minutes. Friends say they can't understand why anyone would want to hurt him, but tonight police say a Jackson County man's wife tried to kill him.
State police have charged 32-year-old Elizabeth Snyder with attempted murder. They say that she shot Cecil Ray Snyder Sunday, then left their home. They say that she returned hours later with some neighbors and claimed that she didn't know Cecil had been shot. Police say Cecil suffered serious injuries. Friends say the couple had a rocky relationship.
It wasn't surprising. She had a temper issue. You know, I'd seen her unload on Ray.
Friends say the couple had been married about 5 years. Elizabeth Snyder is being held on a $250,000 cash-only bond. Police say they arrested her a few days after the shooting based on multiple interviews and leads in the case. New tonight, for the second time in the last month, burglars have broken into a Kentucky church. Members of Hope City Church in Louisville say they arrived this morning to find broken glass around the front door. Inside, they say thousands of dollars worth of computers, televisions, and other equipment had been stolen. The pastor says burglars also broke in 3 weeks ago, stealing electronics that time as well.
The good news about church is the church is people. It's not buildings and equipment. That stuff makes church better. But if you got people who love God, you can have church. And so we'll have church Sunday and figure it out.
The pastor said they were working on getting a new security system after the first burglary, but it's still not ready yet. He said they actually received the insurance money for that break-in today. Police have not made any arrests for the burglaries.
We have an update tonight on efforts to repair structural issues at the Lee County Courthouse. County leaders closed part of the courthouse earlier this month after some of the floors began separating from the walls. They say engineers are still trying to figure out what can be done to fix the building. For now, the Family Support and Protection and Permanency Services offices have been moved to Owsley County, but Lee County leaders say they're looking into some new options for employees of those offices.
New tonight, wildlife leaders in Clay County say they're trying to trap a bear that keeps coming to a Walmart looking for food. Over the last week, police say the bear has been seen looking into dumpsters behind the Manchester Walmart. So far, Kentucky Fish and Wildlife installed a trap nearby using a sock covered in peanut butter as bait in hopes of catching the Walmart bear.
He hasn't harassed anybody yet, just kind of a nuisance, them having to pick up behind it.
If the bear is caught, Fish and Wildlife plan to take it to a safer wooded area. Police warn people not to approach the bear if they see it.
All right, from bears to another animal. New tonight, a Florida animal shelter has $5,000 in flood damage to clean up, and shelter workers blame a cat. They say one of the cats at the Florida Humane Society in Pompano Beach managed to turn on a faucet at a sink in the shelter's cat room, but the water ran for at least 17 hours before anyone knew what had happened. By then, much of the shelter had been flooded.
Countertops were ruined, the walls ruined. We had lots of damage with food and storage that we had in the hallway, cat litter.
Well, the shelter says none of the cats were injured and many of them had to be moved out for now. They're not sure which cat turned on the faucet. Can you imagine going into that room, all those cats, and they're all like, not me, not me, I didn't do it.
We've had a bear at the Walmart.
Yeah.
And a cat turning on the water.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
That kind of night.
Rob Bromley, a practice report coming out on those cats.
That's right. John Calipari can get a couple hours a week with his team at this time of year. A former player practiced with the Cats today. And Jamal Murray talking about meditation and kung fu as he's introduced in Denver. Sports is next. John Calipari is allowed to put his team through 2 hours of skill instruction per week during the summer, and tonight a practice report appeared on CoachCal.com. Some of the highlights mentioned in the article were that Isaiah Briscoe was the loudest player on the court, and that he played with what was described as immense amount of confidence. Sasha Kalia-Jones was on the bike throughout practice, and Bam Adebayo did not take part in a few drills. DeAndre Liggins practiced with the Cats. How about that? The NCAA allows former players to periodically return and practice with their college team. The defensive potential was said to be apparent throughout. You'll remember a couple of weeks ago, future Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal said he wanted his son to play at Kentucky. In his most recent podcast now, Shaq again said he wanted his son Sharif, a four-star prospect in the class of 2018, to consider John Calipari and the Cats. Shaq said LSU and Michigan State were on the list as teams he'd want his son to play for.
I know Calipari, I know Johnny Jones. I want a guy that's going, hey, take your ass to class. I know you might be top 10, but go to class. You don't go to class, you don't play. I need somebody that's not going to, kiss him off. If he makes a mistake, I need somebody that's going to get down his shorts, pause. I need somebody that's going to curse him out, treat him like a man. And those three guys are the ones that I would like him to play for. I've said that many times, but to use the word steer, I'm not steering them. I'm just letting them know that, hey, this is what I think.
Jamal Murray is out in Denver. The Nuggets made him the number 7 overall draft pick last week. Murray introduced earlier today. The Nuggets will be counting on him for outside shooting. The subject of kung fu and meditating before and after games came up, and he said it all goes back to his dad.
My dad, he did a lot of kung fu, a lot of mental toughness, a lot of breathing techniques, and just slowing down your heart rate. Things that help you in the game, help you think slower while things happen fast. And It's helped me, for all my life. From when I was a kid growing up, I've seen it work, and that's kind of become my daily lifestyle. So that's something I keep with me. We watch a lot of kung fu movies, and we'd fight a little bit. I'd win most of the time, but no, I never really won. He's a lot stronger than me, but no, we'd carry that on to the court, and we'd take that same competitive spirit into the game.
Lafayette five-star offensive lineman Jedrick Wills has trimmed his list of college schools down to 8 now. Wills now has Alabama, Florida, Georgia, UK, LSU, Michigan, Notre Dame, and Tennessee on the list. He has dropped Ohio State and Michigan State from a previous list. Wills goes 6'5", 300. He will be a senior next season for the Generals. Joker Phillips has a new job. He is back in the college ranks at Ohio State. We're told that he's in charge of advanced scouting for the Buckeyes. Joker spent last season as receivers coach with the Cleveland Browns. Prior to that, he was on the Florida staff as receivers coach and recruiting coordinator. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck has signed the richest contract in NFL history. It's a 6-year, $140 million deal. The new contract includes $47 million fully guaranteed. Luck is coming off an injury-plagued 2015 season. He suffered a lacerated kidney. At the Olympic swim trials out in Omaha, Nebraska, UK postgrad Christina Bechtel has advanced to the finals in the women's 200-meter butterfly. She came in with the 5th fastest time.
Last time I was here, I just turned 19. Now I'm 23, so I've grown up a lot since 4 years ago. My training has improved a lot. Lars Jorgensen became my head coach the summer after 2013, so my training has just completely changed. It's been awesome.
Crediting her coach at UK, Lars Jorgensen. Stay with us. We'll wrap it up after the break.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Samuel L. Jackson.
I like this 2-for-2 business you've got going
It's good
today
stuff,
and
isn't
tomorrow.
It? Yeah, tomorrow, similar to what we had today. Temperatures may hit a degree or two warmer, low 80s. Could be an isolated thunderstorm on Friday. A little better shot late this weekend, late Saturday, and especially Sunday, Monday. That's the 4th of July into Tuesday. Got the potential for rounds of thunderstorms, put down some heavy rains across the area, guys. That's what we will focus on over the next few days.
All right, get out and enjoy that Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Have a good night.